Step into this captivating video as we prepare to unveil a revelation that will undoubtedly leave you stunned. The Garden of Eden, that fabled paradise recounted in the Bible, has traditionally been dismissed as a mythical concept. But imagine if we were to share with you that it's more than just a mere tale. Recently, an extraordinary breakthrough has come to light, one that holds the potential to reshape our perception of history and faith in a profound way. Through this video, we will accompany you on a journey, delving into the riveting narrative behind this discovery and the compelling evidence that bolsters it. Prepare to be amazed as we expose the realities surrounding the Garden of Eden. A topic guaranteed to ignite animated discussions is the existence of the Garden of Eden. While believers in religion might readily accept it, even those who don't adhere to the Christian deity could find themselves believing in its existence. Certainly, there had to exist a geographical location lending weight to the narratives in the Bible, thus fueling the ongoing debates. It's a topic that hasn't escaped the notice of scholars who've been meticulously scouring ancient texts, seeking hints and references that might aid in pinpointing the garden's whereabouts. Recent advancements in remote sensing archaeology and DNA studies have surprisingly yielded robust clues regarding its location, and the discoveries are truly astonishing. The Garden of Eden, that earthly haven described in the book of Genesis, where Adam and Eve, the first humans shaped by the divine, resided before being expelled for transgressing divine laws, has come into focus. This place is also known as the Garden of God or the Garden of Yahweh, signifying the God of Israel, according to the accounts in Genesis and Ezekiel. The term Eden largely finds its roots in the Sumerian Eden, meaning plain, and the Akkadian Adino, borrowed from Sumerian. As per the Genesis narrative of humanity's creation and subsequent fall, rivers flowed from Eden towards the east, reaching Israel and spanning the corners of the world. Comparable settlements found within the Sumerian records suggest that the ancient Middle Eastern cultures harbored notions of a paradisiacal realm on Earth. Numerous assertions have arisen across different regions, each claiming to pinpoint the original dwelling place of humanity. Among the most prominent contenders are regions such as Iraq in the Persian Gulf, Bahrain, Iran, Anatolia, Armenia, Turkey, Jerusalem, East Africa, and surprisingly even as far as the Isle of Lewis in Scotland and Jackson County in Missouri. Yet, these claims have often lacked substantial evidence, prompting a sense of uncertainty about whether the true location of the Garden of Eden would ever be definitively uncovered. Despite this, certain credible theories have emerged over time, drawing from the subtle cues embedded in the biblical narrative. Ironically, the answer to this age-old query may have been right before our eyes all along. The most conspicuous clues reside in the rivers mentioned within the biblical accounts, presumed to be the origins of those very rivers. According to the book of Genesis, the Garden of Eden is positioned in southern Mesopotamia, present-day Iraq. Presently, it is believed that this garden's exact location lies about 35 miles north of Mosul, Iraq, a mere hour's drive from areas previously under the control of the Islamic State. Two rivers are mentioned in the biblical text, pointing towards the likelihood of the Persian Gulf's northern region as a plausible candidate. The initial of these rivers is the Tigris, which is referred to as the mythical of Eden, and the second is the mighty Euphrates River, known as the Pereth of Eden. Interestingly, a surprising revelation came to light during Morgan Freeman's The Story of God series when archaeologists excavated the area. Their discoveries centered around an ancient site dating back 11,000 years, situated between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. This region has witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations spanning over 12,000 years, encompassing Sumerian, Assyrian, Chaldean, Persian, and Arab societies. Anecdotal indicators suggest that this very region could have been the birthplace of organized farming, early urban centers, and even the advent of writing. However, despite its portrayal in historical records as a generally serene domain, the current state of the Garden of Eden's vicinity stands in stark contrast. Contemporary Iraq, once home to this renowned location, has unfortunately become synonymous with sectarian violence, suicide bombings, abductions, and a refugee crisis. The aftermath of one of the most contentious and emotionally charged conflicts in recent history has left its mark. Much of the destruction in the Mesopotamian region, particularly concerning the two pivotal rivers mentioned in biblical texts, can be attributed to the actions of Saddam Hussein, Iraq's notable dictator, who sought to punish locals for supporting an uprising against his rule. In the 1990s, Saddam Hussein undertook a drastic action that forever altered the landscape. His regime, along with his soldiers, orchestrated the diversion of water in the region, leading to a significant drainage. The marshlands, sprawling across thousands of square kilometers and historically nourished by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, fell victim to this move. The United Nations categorized this as a calamity with both cultural and ecological implications, akin to the vanishing of the Aral Sea or the devastation witnessed in the Amazon rainforest. Even experienced engineers were left astonished by the accomplishments of Saddam's military. Over a span of time, they managed to drain a staggering 6,000 square kilometers of wetlands, an engineering marvel and a colossal undertaking. Their endeavors included channeling new rivers, diverting the Euphrates away from the marshes, and intercepting the Tigris. Concurrently, they set fire to the area's reed beds, a blatant distortion presented by Saddam's dictatorship as an effort to expand agricultural land. In reality, these actions wreaked undeniable environmental havoc. Motivated by a political and spiteful agenda, as historians suggest, Saddam relentlessly pursued this project. By the 1990s, the marsh region had become a focal point for Iraqi opposition, with a substantial rebel population. Fortunately, Saddam was ousted before the entire area could be completely devastated. Yet, there's no denying the significant harm he inflicted upon the region that is believed to have encompassed the Garden of Eden. When he was eventually removed from power, approximately 80,000 Madar, or marsh Arabs, inhabited the region. They lived in towns and on floating islands in 1991. However, a staggering displacement occurred as around 450,000 people who had relied on the marshes found themselves uprooted. Out of these, 30,000 refugees sought solace in the United States, while 70,000 sought refuge in Iran. The remaining population had to undergo relocation. The largest city's inhabitants dwindled from 67,000 to a mere 6,000 by the year 2003. Thankfully, restorative endeavors have been underway, leading to the inclusion of the southern Iraq marshlands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2016. Beyond its historical ties to the ancient garden, these marshes carry a deep-rooted significance due to their diversity and extensive history. The marshes are an integral part of Iraq's enigmatic Wild East, a remote and anarchic area where impoverished communities have a history of defying authority, as noted by British forces stationed there. In an effort to rejuvenate the marshes, the United Nations embarked on an $11 million initiative. This undertaking aimed to remove obstructions that hindered the inflow of water into the area. The objective was to counteract the impact of a series of dams constructed by Turkey and Syria, which redirected the waters of the Great Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Although water has once again begun to flow through the marshes, it falls far short of its former abundance. Regrettably, this region, which was gradually recovering from the aftermath of Hussein's vengeful political actions, is now confronted by a fresh menace. Marshes that were experiencing a revitalization just a few years ago, aided by UN support, now stretch out as expanses of parched earth, underscoring the fragility of their rejuvenation efforts. The proposed site for the garden has been hit hard by prolonged drought. This devastating dry spell has swept across a significant portion of Iraq and neighboring countries over the past years, extending into southern Iraq and affecting the lives of many marsh Arabs who reside there. Formerly lush wetlands like the Hazaiwa marshes have witnessed substantial changes. What were once verdant landscapes now find themselves surrounded by dried-up streambeds, with once green vegetation turning yellow. Lake Umalnas, which was once a substantial body of water, now appears as mere muddy puddles amidst largely arid terrain. The same story of decline is being witnessed in tourist-friendly areas like the Gibbage Marshes. A resident of a village near Hawaiza expressed how the marshes used to provide their livelihood, particularly through fishing. However, academics point out that unsustainable practices by farmers and fishermen, such as unregulated chemical usage and the application of electric shocks while fishing, could inadvertently contribute to the ongoing degradation of Iraq's marshes. These illegal practices end up harming local wildlife, polluting the water, jeopardizing human health, and impeding the restoration of one of the world's most remarkable wetlands. Despite the challenges, the Iraqi government remains optimistic, assuring that the tribulations of the past will eventually fade, and the region believed to be the Garden of Eden and the ancient birthplace of civilization, Babylon, will evolve into a thriving tourist destination. Thank you for accompanying us on this incredible journey of unraveling the mysteries surrounding the Garden of Eden. Our hope is that this discovery has prompted you to question your beliefs and encouraged you to view history and religion through fresh lenses. While much remains to be uncovered and explored on this captivating subject, we trust that this video has given you a glimpse into the potential historical realities. We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments section below and engage with us about this groundbreaking revelation. If you found this content thought-provoking, remember to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more enlightening discussions. Once again, thank you for being part of this experience, and we look forward to welcoming you in our upcoming videos.